Good morning. It's finally nice to see you. It's been a long time coming. Now I get to meet you. In the peace plantation, always on my mind. And all the lights are turned off, but the stars are on outside. Your spirit drowns out all the noise. Now I'm in the peace plantation, always on my mind. And all the lights are turned off, stars are on outside. No longer slaves, driven to the fire. Walking slowly, passion and desire. Fear not, I'm coming home.
1 Corinthians 12:12, we're all individual members of one body. When you look at a painting, let's just take any one of these, for example, this one right here. You kind of look at it, it's got all these weird body parts going in all different directions. We believe that that the Bible talks about how we are the church, okay? And so a lot of times the church looks very confusing because there's some people who want to stand up and praise, there's some people who want to sit down, and there's some people who don't really like the praise. That's not their deal. You know what I mean? But the problem is that a lot of the atmosphere that's created within the walls of the church says that you need to worship in a specific way, or you need to be a specific way, or you need to act in a specific way. And I feel like our culture even tells us that we need to have a specific job or whatever. But our art represents how God, when He looks at all of us, when He looks at how someone worships with their hand, or how someone worships with their art, or how someone worships being a doctor or whatever, sometimes the church and different people may say it looks confusing. But when you step back and you view it as us being parts of the body, you see a masterpiece. And we believe that that's how God sees us. So in order for this art to be created, I just do the outlines because it's one body. It's all about being a collective unit, all of us working together. And so I leave that open so that you, and especially Jordan, not just the co-founder but the co-creator, so that we can come together and create something that couldn't happen just being me, And I think that our art is hopefully a representation of each one of you and your relationships with your future spouse or the relationships that you're in right now. It's not about what you do for yourself. It's about what you're willing to give up and let people add to your life and how they help color your life, So I hope that when you guys look at the art, that you guys understand that the point of it is it's not for us to get glory, it's not for us to be the most rad artists in the world, but it's for us to promote a message of God, to promote a message of love, and to promote a message of unity. So you guys come in here for your part of the
When you're doing a piece of art by yourself, you kind of feel like, okay, I'm going to start this and I'm going to really work at it and I'm going to make this beautiful creation. The good thing about this is you've got so many people around you, so many people involved, so many different hands, so many different spirits, so many different styles in this that it's amazing that when you think about it and you're lost in the painting, and then you step back and see what exactly you've created as a group. It's just a wonderful, beautiful thing. And that's the kind of beauty of this art, is that you start this and you forget everything else that's happening outside of the studio. And so I think that's important, that you have that balance in life, and that's kind of what this New Origin brand really gives to you and allows you to share with people in the world.
You don't have to be quote unquote the best at everything to spread a message or to get your point across. As long as you have like a passion for it and you put in the effort, you can create something amazing.
church is not the building, it's not the brick and the mortar, it's not a radio station, you know, it's the people, it's the heartbeats, it's the eyes, it's the lips, you know, and so I think this is such a great testimony of the places we've traveled and how we, you know, cross paths, whether it's through working with our hands or through communicating with our mouths, or whether we like see each other on the street. As we are Christians, as we are the church, we're moving and breathing and kind of mingling together. So I think it's a really great representation of how the church should be, and how we are called to be. We are kind of confusing to the world, and so we are called to we are called to have the world take a second look at us and see what we're really all about behind all the craziness.
What's up, ladies? How you doing tonight? Come on, give me some love. You just straight up like, you were horrible at that, not gonna lie. Like, I don't know what these girls are about. I don't know where they're from. I actually don't know who they are. Who are you? What's your name?
Ashley.
Ashley, right now. What was your name?
Kaylee.
Kaylee. And what's your name?
I'm Brittany.
Brittany. Okay, hey, on the count of 3, where y'all from? 1, 2, 3. San Diego?
Originally?
Oh! Hey. All right, I don't know what's going on right now, but you guys are not in unison.
Indy area.
Indy area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Indy now.
Live in Indy now.
Live in Indy now. Yeah.
What was your favorite part about tonight?
I absolutely loved when you were explaining what New Origin was and just the vision behind it. It was really hard for me to like get everything when I just came. I was like, who are these people and where are all these cars from? Is this a church? Like, what is it? But just the vision behind it is really awesome, and I love what you guys are doing.
Okay, so talking about the vision, talking about being unique, you thought it was going to be a church. I mean, what do you feel like it is?
I think it's exactly what you guys said. Like, it's an art movement, and it's an area that's really been neglected.
The arts.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously we're working our way down, right? Thought it was a church, realized it's an art movement, you're jazzed on it. Super jazzed.
Super.
And so, from your creative perspective, everything that's going on, how do you think that the creativity holds? Does it hold its integrity well? I mean, you know, you come in here, you're like, this is some unique art. Tell me how much and if you appreciate the artwork in this studio.
I loved it. I think collectively a lot of people who were kind of like mingling and talking, they said, we feel like we've just been like placed here and this place does not belong here in Indiana. Like, you walk in, it's like a totally different world. It's really creative, it's really unique, it's really modern. There's just, you feel the authenticity when you walk in, and the creativeness. It's a pretty cool space to be in.
I love that. Did you hear what she said? Creative, you feel the energy, you feel the vibes. I'm feeling it coming from behind me right now. My back is actually on fire.
I think that why it's so important to have an entire community making one piece of art with all these different colors and all these different shapes is because it's exactly like the body of Christ. We're all so different coming together. I mean, when I was in there, as you see, got multiple colors. I was hitting Brian's, I was hitting Tom's. I've never met any of these people, but you know, we were trying to work on something. We were in each other's space. It was a little uncomfortable, but we were working towards something beautiful, and we're all just trying to pursue Jesus, and that's the church. We're kind of uncomfortable and kind of awkward about it, and we're making our way, trying to make it look good, but ultimately we fall short, as you can see with the drips all over it. But in the end, you got a group of people who are pursuing beauty, who are pursuing joy, who are pursuing God, you know? So New Origin, for me, I think it is one example of the Lord in the corridors of history manifesting himself through a group of people who are passionate. And I mean, it doesn't have to be through this, whatever your passion is. I mean, we love outdoor recreation. We wouldn't be inside by choice, but we love being inside with a group of people who are passionate about serving our God, and we love contributing to what they believe is a way to share the gospel, a way to show love, to show joy, to show peace, and to bring people together and to experience the church. So I think New Origin is one way that God is alive right now, and God is trying to ride the wave that is current, you know?
Just great, you know, just like flying in on like a 7 or like a 6'9" or something. And yeah, New Origin's like riding in goofy foot, switching regular, and just grabbing the rail and like just like coming in hot, hitting the barrel, just getting straight pitted. There's like foam bubbles, and then whoop, it looks like you're going down, but then you cruise out, man.
Yeah, man.